We're good.
At media day, the players talked about that after the scrimmage, they decided to meet and get together and kind of try to work on some things to be proactive. What was your reaction to that?
You know what, I apologize, I had something coming from the staff, I thought it was something I needed for this, but it wasn't, can you repeat it for me?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're real good. The players at media day talked about how much after the TCU scrimmage they got together, try to work on things, be proactive. What was your reaction to them calling that meeting and basically working ahead of some things?
Well, I didn't know they called it till the next day. I thought it was good, because I think leadership was something that we said we wanted last year and didn't have enough of. So the fact that somebody decided, let's get together, and I have no idea what they talked about, I didn't really ask, and if the players want to meet and I'll let them. But my guess would be, it'd be like, we learn where we're at, we gotta really buckle down, have a great week of practice, we gotta get serious about some details, and, cause it's a new season, but last year still, we've got a lot of new guys, but there's enough guys that know, we feel like we underachieved. I mean, looking at it from a view up top, to be a 6 seed in the NCAA tournament with the wins that we had, it was a good year. But to look at the losses we had, it was a little bit, frustrating, underachieving, if that makes sense. So part of that, part of a team that underachieves sometimes is your internal leadership. So to know that a group of guys wanted to make sure that, and you could downplay it, that it was only a close scrimmage, and we were missing 3 heavy rotation guys, potential starters, in Quinterly, Namari, and Charles. But the fact is, we didn't play as well as we needed to, especially in the first half. So I thought we've had a good week of practice. And I'll say this, Southern Illinois is a really good team with a lot of veteran guys. They're going to test us again. So I like, you can do 2 scrimmages, 2 exhibitions, 1 of each. I like doing 1 of each because there's also something different for playing in front of a crowd. So, I felt like a lot of our new guys, especially young freshmen, first time playing against another Division I team against TCU, they got a little shell-shocked in the first half, particularly. This game, hopefully, we've already played somebody good. Now we're playing in front of fans in front of it. Let's get all the jitters out of the way before we actually play Longwood.
Charlie?
We talked about Charles and Amari being out for the TCU scrimmages. Where are you from an availability standpoint? It also sounds like Quinterly's been able to do some stuff. Just where's he coming along with his scrimmage?
Charles is still not practicing, so he's out. Hopefully he can start to get him some drills next week, so we'll see how he responds to that, to know whether he'll be able to play in game 1. Amari's been practicing limited. I think he'll be on a minutes restriction, but he'll play Saturday. Quinterly won't play, but he has been able to do some stuff in practice. You can still tell he's not all there, but he's coming. I mean, he's working hard. Clark's done a really good job with him. Henry's been working with the guys on the side in practice as well. Like they're coming. So I think, if we can keep everybody else injury free, we should have all 12 available. Maybe earlier than what we thought. Maybe early December, somewhere in there. So we plan is to have Charles available that first or second week, depending on how he does next week in practice.
Mason?
Players talked earlier about how they liked the depth that they had at Alabama, even influenced their decision to come here. So what is your opinion on, how deep this roster is going into the season?
I think we're really deep. I think you got 12 guys on scholarship, and all 12 of them can be rotation guys. There's going to be guys that were very highly touted, either, high school players or transfers that are going to have a hard time, like, getting heavy minutes in the rotation. So, that gives you another set of problems to deal with, like chemistry and all that. But I'd rather have a deep team where you got to really fight hard, play hard on defense, play the right way to get solid rotation minutes. I didn't think we had that last year. I thought one of the better ways to get your team to guard well is just don't play them if they're not going to guard. Well, we couldn't really do that well with, when Namari went out, we were really, thin in the backcourt, so we just couldn't motivate them, if you will, that way, and so I thought we were a little up and down. I think this year, like, if the guy's not gonna do what we ask him to do and give an effort on defense, like, we don't need him. Like, we'll be able to play somebody else, so I think guys know that too, when you're looking at the bench and there's 3-4 other guys that are really good at your position, and they can come in and play really well for us, and they've been playing well in practice, like, come on, I gotta give an effort. And then, hopefully we'll be able to pull the team together, and they're all pulling for each other, and, you don't have to stay on the floor when you're tired. We can keep fresh guys out a lot, but yeah, I do think we're much deeper if we can stay injury-free.
James.
You talked about the disappointment from last year and kind of using that as, some motivational fuel for this season, but also, I know it's a balancing act. You're not trying to belabor that point. How are you kind of balancing how much you talk about last season and the disappointment last season and then trying to turn the page?
You know what? I don't talk about it a whole lot, but we know it's there. I mean, Quinterly's still not back, full speed, but he was a big piece of last year's team. He was a big piece of the team that won the SEC the year before, so he's been here. Namari didn't play, but Namari was with the team and felt frustrated with some of those losses. Charles started a lot for us last year. Noah Gurley transferred in to help us. He transferred into a team that was the reigning SEC regular season and tournament champs, and then we just, we didn't perform to that level. Darius is one of the more vocal guys, so we've got a core group of guys that have been with the team. Darius was a freshman when we won the SEC, so, some of these guys have seen both, him and Quinterly. So I'm not trying to make a huge point of it, but occasionally we'll bring it up. Like we talked about, I believe we were 8-8 in 1 or 2 possession games last year. Well, our first year here, I believe we were 4-7, and then when we won the whole thing, we were 7-4. So our point, we made the other day was, listen, half the games last year were 1 or 2 possession games. There's going to be a lot of games that are decided by 1 or 2 plays, and that's going to make or break the type of season we have. We can't think that the little stuff doesn't matter. It matters in a big way. So different things like that, but we're not, I'm hoping all the guys that are not here from last year are doing really well wherever they're at. JD and with the Celtics and playing with the G League team, and Keon and Shaq, and even the transfers. I like all those kids. I hope they do well. We're not here, it was just an overall, we're inconsistent, and our shooting wasn't great. We have referenced some stuff that we need to get better at. The defense being a huge one, shooting percentage being another one, we've got to do better. So we put a big point of emphasis on recruiting shooters and also getting into the gym and shooting, which I think will be a much better shooting team.
Charlie.
Back in the summer when you were talking about Noah Clowney, you said that he was maybe a little better than you thought. Has he even made progress on top of that since getting in here and getting your system?
Yeah, I mean, he's very smart. I don't know how much you can pick up with when he's sitting in front of you, but he asks really intelligent questions. He processes things well. He thinks the game really well. He's a smart kid. So, those type of kids can improve quickly because you can give them a lot and they can take it in, and you can keep giving them more. So we knew he was a really good athlete. He's probably even a better athlete than what we thought. When recruiting, I mean, his second jump, how quick can you react to some guys have, great vertical, but it takes them forever to get into it. Some guys he's really quick twitch, can get to his jump quickly, can react quickly. So all that we saw pretty quick, wow, he can, almost like Herb Jones recovery speed type stuff. But then just the IQ and how much he picks stuff up defensively and offensively, he's getting better. He's going to help us a lot this year.
We good? Go, Charlie. Last one.
Just about the actual charity exhibition. Of course, the score doesn't matter if you want to win, but what is a successful charity exhibition look like to you?
Yeah, so a successful charity exhibition to me would be that we get better. Obviously, I don't want to lose the scrimmage and the exhibition both. I don't think that'd be good for our confidence issues, all that. We're definitely going in to win the game, but I'm gonna play everybody. So I don't want to come out of that with a certain guy, provided we have good practice tomorrow and everybody does what they're supposed to. Everybody's gonna play. We're gonna get guys a chance to get better. And, a few things, like, you always wanna get better from your last game. So if we look at the TCU game, our transition defense really got exposed, if you will. Like, TCU's trying to play a lot faster this year than what they had before, and so I didn't think we did a good job of it. And I think that shows, like, we haven't done a great job in transition offense because we haven't put enough pressure on our defense in practice. So, you know, can we improve our transition defense and offense both? Can we get it out a little faster and make sure we're not giving buckets up? You know, our defense overall guarding the 3-point line, you know, how well are we gonna guard Southern Illinois? Got good shooters. And then just our overall, does the ball move and can we take care of the ball? Are we not turning it over? Just some basic stuff we've been stressing this week. Turnovers down, transition D, effort, talk to way up. And then is the ball moving? Are we unselfish on offense? If all that happens, and we, for whatever reason, just have a really cold shooting game, like, you know, basketball, you wanna get good shots, you can't guarantee they're gonna make them all. But, you know, I think if we do what we're supposed to, the score will take care of itself. But we're gonna play everybody. I just wanna see everybody get better. Let's make sure we're better than we were against TCU. If that's the case, then we'll be all right going into the Longwood game.
Thanks, Coach.